Hey, friends. Welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas, and we're so glad you joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in.
I was about to say welcome back to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast, but I don't want to be here.
I don't want to record this episode.
I don't either. I mean, I want to be here with you having this
Same.
conversation, but I feel so sad.
I don't know that I can remember a season of the podcast when I have had as many people stop me
Yes.
in as many places and talk about how they've learned. I've had parents stop me in the waiting room. I have had parents stop me in the airport, different places, and talk about the conversations. My favorite conversation was a mom stopped me and she said, I have been trying to get my husband on board with the Enneagram for the longest time, and he would just have nothing to do with it. But because he loves a podcast, and you all started talking about it, it's like all we talk about now in our house. So
that's so cool.
I know it was so our hope that there would be so much good learning that has come from this. And it seems like from the feedback we've been given,
Yes.
that's been the case. That was our great hope.
It was our great hope. And we have had so many fun conversations with friends and people we love and trust that are all different numbers. We have learned so much.
Yes, we have. We knew that would happen.
Yes. And I think we have been reminded over and over that there is no right way to parent. There are a lot of different ways that we see the world, and that God in His wisdom chose you in who you are to parent each of your kids. And He knew that you were bringing all the strengths and all the struggles that we've been talking about to that equation. And we are sad to be wrapping up the series by talking about reminding you of your strengths one more time, whatever number you are, and also talking a little bit more about how we can support each of the kids that are that number. And so we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to go through them quickly, but our hope is this conversation will help you breathe a little bit deeper, have a little more compassion for yourself, and see so much goodness in the way God designed you and who He created you to be in the midst of your family and in this world. So you want to start us with the one? Talk about the strengths of the one. I would love to be reminded of that.
So happy to remind parents out there that, the name often given to the one is the perfectionist. And we don't tend to love that, I think mostly because we know there's a lot of truth to it. But I really love the name, the reformer.
Me too.
That I think is the reminder of we want to bring good into this world. We want to make things right. And as we think on being reformers or improvers, ones I want to remind you of your steady integrity. In fact, will you say that back to yourself often? Like, I have a steady integrity. I think it's such an important reminder that we need to give ourselves.
You bring more to the world than organization.
Absolutely. One, parents bring clarity, consistency, and a deep moral compass. Kids feel safe because they always know where the guardrails are. All right. If you have potentially a little one in the making or an adolescent that you feel pretty certain is a one in progress, you want to help them release the pressure of perfection. You want to help them adopt the words good enough. Good enough. Those are such important words to say back to ourselves. Remind them often that mistakes are a part of learning and that their goodness is not up for debate.
Or they're being loved.
Absolutely.
Parents who are twos, you helpers out there that we adore, you have a superpower of your warm, intuitive nature. It is such a part of who you are. You know what your children need often before your child knows. You create homes where your children feel held, which is such a beautiful thing. And if you're raising a child who might be a two, we want to help support little twos in keeping track of their own needs, which you need as well, not just the needs of others. Help them practice saying what they want, even when no one is asked.
Threes, your superpower is inspiring belief in what's possible. Threes infuse energy, momentum, and you can do this into the life of your family. You help kids dream big and feel capable. And if you have a potential becoming a 3 kid in your household, remind them that they are loved for who they are and not what they do. They're loved for who they are and not what they accomplish. Create space for rest and for feelings that don't fit neatly into success. And now a quick break to hear from one of our incredible sponsors who make the podcast available.
David, have you ever had one of those mornings where you're trying to make breakfast, feed the dog, answer emails, and remember if you brushed your teeth all before 8 a.m.?
You mean every morning? My old coffee wasn't cutting it. I'd crash before lunch and end up reheating it 3 times.
Same here. I love my coffee ritual, but I wanted something better. That's when I found Everyday Dose. It's a coffee alternative that tastes like the real thing, but it's packed with collagen, nootropics, and functional mushrooms.
Yep, it takes 30 seconds to make, no frother, no fancy setup, and it gives you clean, sustained energy all day. No crash, no jitters, just focus.
My gut and brain have never been happier. And I love that I'm still getting my cozy morning ritual just without the afternoon slump.
So if your mornings look anything like ours, this is your upgrade.
Get 61% off your first Coffee Plus starter kit, a free A2 probiotic creamer with over $100 in free gifts by going to everydaydose.com/RBG or entering RBG at checkout.
That's everydaydose.com/RBG for 61% off your first order. Everyday Dose is also available at your local Target. And now back to the show.
For parents who might be known as the individualists, you have an immense strength in your emotional depth. You normalize feelings for kids. You help them know that all feelings are acceptable and good and valid. You make room for beauty, and you invite your children into authentic, meaningful connection, which is so centering for the kids that we know. And if you suspect you might have a 4, we want to help little 4s not get stuck in the hard feelings. We want to offer grounding rhythms and practices, which we talk about in our 4 episode, and remind them regularly your feelings are real and important, but they're not the whole story.
Okay, 5 parents, you investigators out there, your superpower is your calm, steady presence. You bring wisdom, clarity, and spaciousness. You honor curiosity and never overwhelm a child with emotional intensity, which is an incredible gift.
Yes.
And if you're a parent listening and you believe you are raising a 5, gently draw 5-ish kids out of their heads and into relational connection. Help them practice asking for what they need and trusting that their presence is not a burden.
6s, who are our guardians, our loyalists, and your superpower is your faithful loyalty. 6 parents show up, stick around, and think ahead. You are the steady, dependable glue that holds a family together. And if you feel like you might be raising a 6 child, we want to help them distinguish fear from fact, which is harder than it's ever been in this world we're living in. We want to help them build courage by celebrating each brave step, sometimes incentivizing it, and letting them borrow your confidence until they grow their own.
Okay, 7s, the enthusiast. Your superpower is joy and optimism. 7s sprinkle fun into ordinary days and help kids see life as an adventure filled with possibility. Mm-hmm. And if you believe you are raising a 7, teach little 7s to stay with the hard moments. Help them learn that not every uncomfortable feeling is a cue to escape. Sometimes it's an invitation to grow.
For our 8s out there, our challengers, which, let me say, David talked about how sometimes you can be the most resistant to the Enneagram because you don't want to be put in a box. And when we put up our video on social media about 8 parents, you were the most responsive. So I'm so proud of you. Way to go.
8.
So your superpower is your fierce protection. 8 parents advocate for their kids with boldness and heart. You raise kids who feel seen, safe, and covered. If you have a child who might be an 8, we are with you. And we want to help 8-ish kids challenge their strength with gentleness. We want to teach them that vulnerability is not weakness, but a doorway into deeper connection with those we love.
All right, 9s, you peacemakers out there, 9 parents, your superpower is your calming presence. You bring harmony, patience, and steadiness. Kids feel emotionally safe in the peace that you create. And if you believe you are raising a 9, invite those growing 9s to use their voice. Celebrate their opinions, encourage initiative, and remind them your presence and your perspective matter.
Okay, how about if we do 1-sentence takeaways for each type?
Love it. Let's do.
Okay, 1's the reformer. You don't have to be perfect to be a good parent. Your steady integrity is already shaping your kids in powerful ways.
2's the helpers. Your warmth is a gift, and you are allowed to have needs too.
3's are achievers. Your drive inspires your family, but your presence without striving is the greatest gift you offer your kids.
4's the individualists. Your emotional depth invites your kids into authenticity, and your groundedness helps them not stay stuck there.
5's the investigator. Your calm clarity makes room for curiosity, and your engagement reminds your kids that they matter.
6's the guardians or loyalist. Your faithfulness creates safety, and your courage helps your kids grow brave in their own time.
7's or our enthusiasts. Your joy lights up your home, and your willingness to sit in the hard moments shows your kids what real resilience looks like.
8's challengers. Your strength protects your children and helps them feel loved, and your softness draws them close.
9's are peacemakers. Your steadiness is a haven for your kids, and your voice brings wisdom your family truly needs. And now a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors who helps us make this podcast possible. David, I've decided that getting older is just a long list of realizing how many things I didn't know I needed, like serums, reading glasses, and now filtered shower water.
I hear you. I spent decades worrying about the products I was using, not realizing the water might be the problem.
Right? We filter the water we drink, but not the water we shower in, where we're literally soaking our skin and hair every day. Jolie changed that for me. My hair feels softer, my skin's less dry, and I'm not spending half my morning fighting frizz.
I love mine too. Jolie's the only lab-tested and clinically trialed shower head. It reduces hair shedding by 81%, frizz by 40%, and even helps maintain color. Connie said my hair looks healthier than my diet, which felt a little pointed.
But maybe accurate. It really does make such a difference, and it's sleek and beautiful. No plumber needed, no loss in water pressure, just better water for better skin and hair.
Jolie will give you your best skin and hair guaranteed. Head to jolieskinco.com/RBG to try it out for yourself with free shipping.
And if you don't like it, you can return your Jolie for a full refund within 60 days. No questions asked. And now back to our show.
As we land the plane
Yes.
on this series, we want to remind you again, as Sissy so beautifully said on the top side, there's not good numbers, there's not bad numbers, there's not right numbers, there's not wrong numbers. There's just 9 different numbers, 9 different ways of seeing and moving through the world, and evidence of our artistic God, that he would make us so extraordinarily different, and how we would reflect all the things that are true about him and how he designed us. We have been asked by several people, like, how can I keep learning at this point? And so we want to give you a little homework should you want to do a little further study. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm pulling out some books right here behind me. We have talked a whole lot about the road back to you. And if you are jumping in at the end of the series and wondering, what is all this you all been talking about? This is still a great, great way to figure out your number. Read through each number in a chapter answer the questions at the end, figure out where you score the highest. We think this is a really great tool for figuring out your number. We've been talking a lot about that. In the Going Forward, we have referenced this book several times. It's called The Path Between Us, written by our delightful friend Suzanne Stabile, and it's called An Enneagram Journey to Healthy Relationships, and talks about how all the numbers connect. So if you are not just figuring out more about your number, but having stronger suspicions as we've been talking about the possibilities for your kids, this is a great way to study more about how the numbers interact and things that might get in the way and different ways to build connection. And The Journey Toward Wholeness, which is one of our all-time favorites. Enneagram Wisdom for Stress, Balance, and Transformation. You've heard us talk a whole lot about the stances, and this book will be a deep dive into the stances. We're going to link to all these resources in the show notes, and would be a great way just for you to take the learning further, go deeper if you want to.
And we want to finish out this series with a closing benediction that we want to read over you all. May you recognize God's kindness in the way you are made, the strength you bring, the tenderness you offer, and the unique presence only you can give. May you grow in compassion for yourself, trusting that you don't have to parent perfectly to parent beautifully.
May you see your children with clear eyes and a soft heart, celebrating their gifts, guiding their growth, and offering them the grace you're learning to offer yourself.
And may you remember in every number and every season that you are not alone. You are supported, equipped, and deeply loved as you do the sacred work of raising boys and girls. David, what a team we have that we get to call friends who help make this podcast possible. Chris Starrett, our engineer.
Our management team at KCH.
And we are thrilled to be a part of the That Sounds Fun network.
Our music was created by the insanely talented Dave Haywood of Lady A.
And if this podcast felt helpful to you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all the things.
We are grateful for you and cheering you on always.